Hello, and thank you for joining us again on this month's episode of ClubCast. I am Kate Capezza, the Director of Communications with Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County, and joining me this month is Stephanie Quirantes. She is the Community Impact Program Manager at Cleveland Clinic. So Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Today we are going to dive into the amazing partnership between Boys and Girls Clubs and Cleveland Clinic. It is just such an amazing partnership that has such an impact on our club members and in our clubs, from the mini medical school programming to funding our STEM programming to being a part in opening up a new food pantry at one of our clubs. So very exciting things happening, and I'm just so excited to dive into it today. So to start, Stephanie, just tell us a little bit about yourself, about your background, and how you got here in the community.
Yeah, so I'm fairly new to the community. I was in Miami for 45 years as a registered dietitian, so I have a strong healthcare background. And when we left Miami, we opened a small business, so it was interesting to get really involved in the community through that. So that's really how I learned about nonprofits, was connecting with them through my small business. And when we decided to move up into the Stuart, St. Lucie area and sell our business, I realized what I really wanted as my next career move was to be involved in nonprofits and somehow connect my business and expertise with my healthcare background and somehow use that in the community for good.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your role with Cleveland Clinic since you moved to this community.
So I have this amazing honor to connect Cleveland Clinic, which is this amazing medical institution, with our community. So I'm in charge of, in Martin and St. Lucie counties, partnering us with different organizations and somehow influencing the community through those partnerships. We do that with either funding different programs, or maybe it's just using our caregivers, which is what we call all of our employees as caregivers, and we use them in the community as volunteers.
That's really cool. So you are the one that started the partnership with Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County. How did, why is community partnership so important to Cleveland Clinic's mission?
So what we do, caring for the community, is one of the really important parts of our mission. We want to make sure that our community is the healthiest it can be, and we do that through our programs. We call them Heal, Hire, and Invest. And part of what I do is investing in the community. So it's not always through money, it's investing time, figuring out where we need help in the community, and then partnering with our caregivers to see how can our caregivers fill some of those roles in what we need in the community.
And you guys have been very involved in our clubs through the mini medical school. We all love the mini medical school. It's such an amazing program. To see it run with all of your staff is just so cool to watch, with different stations. Tell us just a little bit about what that program is.
Yeah, so mini med school was developed because we saw this need for kids to be inspired in careers in medicine. People going into medicine has really decreased throughout the years. We wanted to inspire them to see there's different avenues in medicine. Mm-hmm. There's neurology, there's cardiology, there's dermatology, and how can we teach kids a little bit about this when they're very young? So we came up with this fast-paced, really fun, engaging program that our caregivers volunteer to come to, and they spend a couple of hours with the kids and they teach them about different careers in medicine and chronic disease prevention tips, and sometimes safety tips. So for instance, we have a module called neurology, and the kids come in, they learn what does a neurologist do, but they also learn how to recognize a stroke. So if one of their caregivers had the signs of a stroke, that they would know what to do. They would know what it looked like, and they would know to call 911. So
it's both real life, putting it into real life, and also just so that they know a little bit more about careers. So that's awesome that it touches on the workforce readiness aspect too. Yes. So that's really cool. Do you have a favorite moment or story from the mini medical program that stands out to you?
Well, every time we do it, it's different, and the Boys and Girls is so fun because every club we go to is different. So sometimes it's in a cafeteria, sometimes we have a little bit of an auditorium. It's usually organized chaos. So every time is very inspiring and fun. I don't have like a specific moment, but I do remember these little boys looking at the digestive tract model we had for the first time and learning how long the intestines are. And then I have a picture of them, like just their eyes wide opening, like, wow, I can't believe the intestines are so long and they're inside my body. And just them perceiving what the reality is. It's just really always so cool.
And it's cool that they're seeing people from the outside community come in and do different activities with them. Something that's different than what they're used to in the clubs, just something different.
And our volunteers are so great because anybody can volunteer from any med school that's a Cleveland Clinic caregiver. So you can work in the cafeteria, you can be a nurse, you can be a doctor, you can be a physical therapist. We really train anybody to teach these core concepts that we're trying to teach, to make it relatable to the kids that anybody can do this. And we're just really trying to inspire them to learn about different careers and see that maybe it sparks a little interest in them. And, maybe I want to be a neurologist. Maybe cardiology is for me. They probably didn't even know what those words were before they came to mini med school, but now they know what that doctor does. So it's really fun.
Now, is that program running right now, or what's the time frame with that?
Yeah, it's ongoing. So we do it. Anyone who'll take us, we'll do it in the clubs. We actually have 3 lined up with St. Lucie and Indian River for October for different mini med schools to run. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And other than Mini Medical School, you have also helped fund our Makerspace carts for our STEM programming. Tell us a little bit about that and why Cleveland Clinic wanted to partner with us on that.
Yeah, that's a really neat program. Renee, one of your directors of education, I think is her title, she came to us. She always has these amazing ideas.
She does.
So she came to us, and I sat down with her and her team and just listened to how important this program was for the kids. And really, when you hear them talk about it, you're just like, I have to help you do this. But when it comes down to it, STEM is so important, because what STEM does is not just teaches them science, technology, and engineering and all those really important things, but it teaches them teamwork and collaboration. And that was one thing that we really looked at. Like, if you can give them education but also teach them how to work together, they're going to excel, because that working together piece is really hard for some people. And if you can learn how to work together in these projects with the STEM carts, it's really cool.
And we really appreciate Cleveland Clinic's support with that, because we definitely feel like our STEM programming is so important. How do you see these Makerspace carts kind of helping with future careers?
Yeah, so again, it's that collaboration, and it's really the creativity. So these carts, if you've seen one, have you seen the carts before?
Yes,
I think you saw them.
they're very cool.
So the carts have like all these little pieces in them, these little drawers, and they think they came with these cards with like an activity, and then the teacher will tell them, hey, make a bridge with pipe cleaners and popsicle sticks and gum. Like, I'm just making that up, obviously. But then the kids have to get together as a team, and they have to create this thing, whatever it was. And so, one will have an idea and another one won't like it, and then this one will have an idea and this one will think it's great. So they really have to talk to each other. And I think, again, like looking at workforce development, and even if they don't go into engineering or science or math, it's really teaching that piece of like, how do you work together as a team? And everything we do now is in teams. So I think it's really important for all of those aspects.
Yep, teamwork is definitely something that they will take on with them in future careers. So we are super excited about that programming. Another exciting thing that you guys are playing a key role in is our new food pantry at Garden Terrace.
Yes.
Very, very exciting. Tell us a little bit about what sparked this idea.
So again, you guys have this amazing staff that has all these great ideas. And, I have this amazing background as a registered dietitian. I worked for 25 years in nutrition, and I know the importance of good nutrition for everybody. And when Gabby came to me and said, our families don't have enough food, we're dealing with food insecurity in our clubs, and she wanted to look at opening food pantries, we thought it was a perfect opportunity to combine some funding and then collaboration with the Treasure Coast Food Bank, who we also have a partnership with. And I love when we can bring our partners together to work together. So the Treasure Coast Food Bank, Boys and Girls Club, and Cleveland Clinic all work together to fund the space, get the equipment, make sure all of the certifications were done, and now Treasure Coast Food Bank is coming in to help supply the food for it, which is great, because do you think about it, you need a sustainable funding source to put food in a pantry. It just doesn't show up. And yes, you can do collections in the neighborhood, and different churches can help put it together, but in the end, if you have that resource like the Treasure Coast Food Bank to help put the food in this pantry, we know that it's always going to be sustained. And that was really important to us, was to have a sustainable way to feed the community.
And that is so awesome that you guys are doing that. How is that going to work as far as club members getting the food? How does that process look like?
Yeah, so I know Gabby is working with that club in particular to see how the parents at pickup will be able to pick up food. And from what I understand, it's really neat the way they're doing it. And I don't think we've done this any other place. They're having the kids really work on what are the orders coming in, what parents ordered, what did they order, and then the kids going through the pantry with a bag and actually collecting the food and putting it together and then having it ready for pickup. So the kids are, you know, it's not just learning about food insecurity, it's food safety and nutrition and the fact that people need food every day. And the fact that the parents can pick up their food when they pick up their kid, I mean, to me, that's so incredible. You don't see that in a lot of places, that you can do two things at one time, because transportation and time can be an issue.
And that is going to make a huge impact, especially in that area, the families in that area. So we appreciate your support.
A lot of times you see them picking up fast food instead of healthy food. And so this way, on their way home, they can think, oh, I already have healthy food in the car. We don't have to drive through the fast food place, you know, to pick up dinner. It's in the car already.
Right, and that is so amazing. What would you share with the community about the importance of addressing food insecurity in our community?
I think people are becoming more aware of it, but I think we continually have to remind people that this is a problem. I don't have a problem with food insecurity, so it's not always top of mind unless you're hungry, right? And so I think, you know, doing things, September happens to be Hunger Action Month, so we're looking at, like, how can we help the community, especially this month, different ways we can do that. And one of the things that I always find so unbelievable is that SNAP, which is the food program that helps people with money to buy food, is about $6 per day for a person. So if you think about try to eat with $6 a day, it's almost impossible to really think about. I went to the grocery store this weekend and I couldn't believe how much, you know, it's just me and my husband, like how much we spent on food for just the two of us was unbelievable. So think about, you know, feeding a family, you've got $6 per day for each person. It's really not a lot of money. So, you know, reminding people, like, think about that. Think about how can you, maybe you can do a collection at your church. Maybe you can do a collection in your neighborhood. You know, maybe when you're at the store and you see a BOGO, you get that extra box of cereal, but you put it aside for the food pantry, and think of ways that maybe you can help, you know, stock the food pantry.
That is so awesome. Do we have any sort of opening date of the food pantry or any update on that?
I know all the paperwork is done, and I know that all the signage is done. So I think it's just a matter of getting the food in the pantry now. So we're hoping this month, being that it is Hunger Action Month, that we can really open it this month, have a nice ribbon cutting, and get the parents the food they need.
That's awesome. Cleveland Clinic has just supported both healthy lifestyles and workforce readiness through the partnership with Boys and Girls Club. What do you value most about our collaboration?
Yeah, again, I love collaborations. I love being able to work with other people because, you know, together we're better. This collective impact that we can have on the community is so important. And it's not just about workforce, and it's not just about, you know, funding a project. It's, you know, it's what's the next thing for these kids after we teach them about careers in medicine. We have apprenticeships, we have mentorships, you know, we have other programs at Cleveland Clinic that can be that next step. You know, they can actually come and work for Cleveland Clinic. So it's not just talking about it, it's, you know, how do we integrate them into our programs and create this dynamic where they want to be a caregiver, where they want to come work for us and stay in the community. We are one of the largest employers in St. Lucie and Martin counties. And so how do we bring them into our wonderful organization and keep them moving and give them this career that they love and that they, again, are serving the community themselves now.
Tell us a little bit more about the job opportunities through Cleveland Clinic. What does that look like?
Yeah, we always have lots of jobs available. We have great workforce development teams, apprenticeship teams, mentorship teams. We have a whole department of educators that go into the community and help them find the right fit for them. So I know that if somebody's interested in becoming a doctor, we can help them do that. If someone wants to be a nurse, we can help them. If you want to work in the cafeteria because you love food, we can help you do that. So there's all different programs that you can integrate with the Cleveland Clinic team and learn about the different prospects and also hopefully get a job.
And it's partnerships like those that are so important just to offer opportunities for our youth, especially our teens, through workforce readiness. Anything in the community that we can involve them with is just so amazing, and just that exposure to the different careers is what they need in the time of their lives right now. So how does this partnership with the two of us, how does that fit into just Cleveland Clinic's overall vision for community health?
Yeah, so it's about opportunity, as you mentioned. You really want to give these kids opportunity and access to careers. And as we do that, teaching them about health, really getting those little nuggets in there. And you guys do such a great job at Boys and Girls Club of doing so many things with these kids, giving them all this opportunity, but also like in mini med school, we're teaching them about chronic disease prevention. They don't really know it, maybe, but those little information pieces, we have this program called Slip, Slop, Slap, Seek, and they learn these silly terms, but they're learning about skin cancer prevention. So it's really like, how do we continue to collaborate with Boys and Girls Club and other organizations and make sure the kids are getting these messages, but also like thinking about what's the next thing for me. And it's not just having a career and having opportunity, it's having a career that really means something to them and brings joy to their life and makes them happy when they're in the community and with what they're doing. And then they'll, that will inspire the next generation. So it's just this combination that we keep collaborating and just keep it going.
Are there any exciting things coming up in the future that you'd like to share?
Well, I can't share a whole lot, but we are actually partnering for the first year this year on the chili cook-off. And so we do have a couple fun things that are going to happen at the chili cook-off, but they are, again, going to teach about chronic disease prevention. And the kids hopefully won't realize it, but we're excited to be there. This is the first time I've done it. Maybe in the past, Cleveland Clinic maybe has had a presence, but this will be my first time. I've heard it's quite a show. So I'm excited, and we're excited to have a booth there and teach the kids and the parents something.
That's really cool. Yeah, this year Chili Cook-Off is all a big fall festival type vibe. We're having it in the parking lot at Clover Park, so it's a little bit of a different thing this year, but we're super excited about it. Different fall festival activities and stuff like that, to just little stations to get our kids learning too at the same time, but also having fun.
You cheat a little bit. They don't know they're learning.
Right. We are very excited about it. How can the community support or get involved into the work that Cleveland Clinic's doing?
Yeah, we are so happy to be in the community, and we love when people come up to us at the activities we're doing and talk to us about how they can help. And really, mini med school is one thing that we bring into the schools, but we also bring in other things. And one of the things the community can help us with is we have, ways to help our food banks. And I think that's a big way the community can get involved with us, is doing these collections and helping bring the food into the food pantries and helping the food banks make sure, it's really not just about volunteering with us, but it's about how can we help people find where they want to volunteer in the community. And I love being able, when somebody asks me, where should I go? My job wants to go volunteer somewhere, and that I know these places now. I know where you can go. I know the Boys and Girls Club needs this, this, and this. Or I know the Treasure Coast Food Bank needs these things. And really being that connection for the community to resource other organizations is really how we want to partner with the community.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate all the work that you're doing, all the work you're doing in the community, especially with Boys and Girls Clubs. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we end?
No, I love what I do. I love if anybody watches this and wants to connect with us, we're happy to connect. We love being able to go out into the community, and really we're trying to make our community healthier. That's the goal. So if you have ideas, we'd love to hear them.
And Hunger Action Month is the perfect month to do that.
That's right.
We're super excited about the opening of our food pantry and just continued programming with Cleveland Clinic, especially the mini medical school. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today. It's so much fun.
So we will see you next month.